everyone, it's Charlie, and as you can tell by the title, today I'll be doing a video on 10 things you need to remember, or memorize, or know. Those are synonyms. Before Air Force basic training. I don't know why I'm so nervous about this video. I guess because my channel's finally starting to grow a little, and it's awkward. But yeah, let's get right into the video. Oh, before we get into the video, I want to say I'm gonna try not to play with my hair as much as I did in the last video. That was really embarrassing, and I'm sorry. Okay, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing you should try to remember before Air Force basic training is the Airman's Creed. Now, they're gonna expect you to know this by maybe the end of WAT 0. I think we got quizzed on everything at the Monday of WAT 1. So you get there on a Tuesday, you need to know everything by the next Monday. So if you know it now, it's obviously going to make it a lot easier. You won't feel as pressured. But with the Creed, really just I'm not going to say you can coast by not knowing it, but it's best to know it, obviously. But no one's really going to be watching you when you say it, because usually when you say it, it's just before PT. And you start every morning saying it, and if you hear enough people saying it, if you hear it enough times, you'll kind of know the words, but it'll make everything a lot easier if you're already going into it knowing the Air Force Creed. Okay, the second thing really goes along with the Creed because you say them back to back is the Air Force song. Now you only need to know the first part of it. I'll link it in the description box, but yeah, it's a lot longer than most people know about, but we only say the first verse or whatever. And you say this along with the Airman's Creed in the morning at PT. And make sure you're standing at attention when you do both of these. And yeah, Air Force song. You don't have to sing it on key or anything, as long as you say it together. Pauses in between the lines. Don't try to rush it. Do not rap the Airman's song, the Air Force song. Don't do that. Just take your time, say it, listen to the beat. Just stay on beat. You don't even have to be on pitch. You don't have to be on key. You don't have to hold a note. Just say it in the right pace. And that's all that matters. Okay, the third and fourth thing that you should memorize before you go to basic training is officer and enlisted ranks. So you're going to get quizzed on this a lot. I can't really speak for any other squadrons or really any other MTLs, I guess. MTIs, because MTLs is in tech school. I just graduated from tech school, if you don't know that. MTIs, but we got quizzed on ours all the time. If we're just standing there, what is the rank of a staff sergeant? And you gotta know it, or you're just gonna be sitting there. One, you look dumb, and you're probably gonna get a 341 pulled. Especially if we're standing in line at the DFAC just trying to get food. We're hurry up, get to the line, go faster, go faster. Because if you're just standing there and it's a big old long line, you're going to get asked a question eventually. You need to know your ranks. You need to know the pay grade. You need to know what the insignia looks like. You need to know how to answer the question. That's very, very important. Okay, the number 5 thing that I'm going to mention is going to be the reporting statement. But before I get to that, I really, really want to show you guys how you should answer a question. So if my MTI was to ask me to describe the rank insignia of a technical sergeant, I would say, "Sir, Trainee Edwards reports as ordered. Sir, the rank insignia for a tech sergeant is a chevron of..." God dang. It's been too long. "Sir, Trainee Edwards reports as ordered. Sir, the rank insignia for a technical sergeant is a chevron of 5 stripes with a star in the center." Notice how I said sir twice. Not sir twice like a sir sandwich, which I'm going to tell you about that later. But sir twice as in, "Sir, Trainee Edwards reports as ordered. Sir, the rank insignia for a master sergeant is a chevron of 6 stripes, one of which is inverted with a star in the lower field," or something like that. But yeah, just make sure you're saying sir twice, but sir in the right way. Speaking of sir twice. So, like I said, the 5th thing I'm going to tell you about is your reporting statement. Sir, trainee, whatever your last name is, reports as ordered. Do not give them a sir sandwich. Do not say, "Sir, trainee Edward reports as ordered, sir." Don't do that. Make sure you're giving your reporting statements at the right time. You only have to give a reporting statement when it's a yes or no or one-word answer or common courtesy. "Excuse me, sir." You should probably still say sir, but you won't say, "Sir, Trainee Edwards reports as ordered. Excuse me, sir." Just to walk by him or something like that. That's weird. But make sure you say it. Like when you're in class, just make sure you say it at all times. Because you are going to spend your majority of time there in class. But make sure you're still saying your reporting statement. If they ask you a question in class, just see if you're paying attention. No matter what, make sure you're saying your reporting statement. Unless it's part of the same conversation. If it's just you and your wingman, obviously, and your MTI asks you a question, Sir, Trainee Edwards reports is ordered, and then you just say whatever he wants you to say or start the conversation. But if he then asks your wingman a question, your wingman will give their reporting statement, and he asks you a question again, you have to say yours again, because that's not a part of the same conversation. He jumped back and forth people. But if he's asking you something, he asks you one question, he answers it, and he asks you another question, it's still part of the same conversation, I think. That's how it was with my MTI. Unless you're just being extra and want you to give it again, you don't have to give it again if it's just back-to-back, same conversation, because that's weird. But if you don't say your reporting statement while they're talking to you, they're going to hit you with a Sir Trainee what? And it's going to be hilarious to me because I think that is the funniest thing ever. When an MTI is like, so what did we learn in class today? Sir, I learned Sir Trainee what? And he just like interrupts you and everybody's going to start laughing at you because hearing Sir Trainee what is so freaking funny to everyone. But it's not funny when it's happening to you. The sixth thing that you should know before you go to basic military training is military time. Now, I grew up in a house where we just used military time for absolutely no reason. I mean, I guess it was a reason. I grew up in a military family. But, like, even after my dad retired, we still use military time sometimes. And now I work in a hospital. It's just really easy for me to use military time. Okay, so let's say it's 9 in the morning. That would be 0900 0900. That's 9 a.m. 9 p.m. would be adding 12 to that, which would make it 2100. So hopefully that makes sense. All you have to do is add the 12 to whatever time it is if it's in the afternoon. Anytime afternoon, you add 12 to whatever it is. Simple enough. Hopefully that didn't sound too crazy. You should probably Google it because it's really hard to explain when I'm just sitting here talking to you. One thing that is very, very important to know, actually I'll put these two together because they're both really important, and two things that apparently I didn't know and I thought I knew before I got there and I got really embarrassed, is how you do a proper push-up and a proper sit-up. Turns out I can't do push-ups. I didn't know that, but apparently I can't. My first initial PT test, which is if you watch my last video, you know I didn't get to PT at all until my first test, which is like a week in, I believe. So it's like they could have corrected my form. Oh, I'm sorry, I just cracked my knuckles. I don't know if that was loud or not. But they could have corrected my form by this point, but it was my first time them ever seeing me do PT. And they waited until I was in my push-ups. I mean, I'm pumping them out. I'm doing good. I think, wait, I'm not that great at push-ups. I'm not gonna lie and pretend like I am. But I was at 30, I believe, which is good for me, like really good for me. I was low-key impressed because it's good for me. And she was like, yeah, only 3 of those counted. Y'all, when she told me that, my heart broke. So that's how I found my initial PT test. The person who actually told me was the director of operations. So I was like, yes, ma'am, sorry, ma'am, continues to do wrong push-ups. So I ended up getting like 7 push-ups because they didn't correct my form until like the 50-second mark. And if you know, you only have 60 seconds. So yeah, I didn't do that hot on my initial push-ups. Sit-ups have always came easy to me. I can do at least, I'd say 78 on average in a minute because, I don't know, sit-ups are just really easy to me. But when you're doing push-ups and sit-ups, you really need to pay attention when your PTL is telling you the right form. Before you start, they'll say, here are the rules, we're about to start, go. Listen to what they're saying. Make sure you're breaking 90 on all those push-ups. Make sure your butt's not on the air. Make sure your arms aren't too far apart, like mine. Really just make sure you're breaking 90. That's the main thing with push-ups. With sit-ups, make sure your butt's not leaving the ground and make sure you aren't holding onto your shirt to pull you up, or make sure you're not just like flailing your arms everywhere. Like, make sure you're using proper form. And that'll get you through the push-ups and sit-ups. I really wish I could think of like 2 more things to tell y'all so I could end with like an even 10, but I really can't think of anything else that you should really know. I would say maybe phonetic alphabet, but you really don't use that at basic training that often, except for like the first maybe 6. Things that you should know before basic training. yeah, I guess that's all. Thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry I couldn't come up with anything else to tell you, but hopefully this will be a little helpful. Your recruiter should have told you all this stuff, but like I said, if your recruiter isn't worth 2 cans of worms, then they probably didn't tell you. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. You guys do not know how much it means to me. Thank you for all your sweet comments. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.